I think one of the biggest misconceptions about spoken word poetry is that you're going to leave the show feeling depressed. And it's really quite the opposite. After a good show, people really leave feeling full of hope.
Being a nurse is like going to sleep alone, putting on your scrubs and hoping that maybe when you wake up you can save the entire world. Being a good nurse means knowing that you can't. It means drinking tea instead. It means letting them move all their stuff and just leave. It means taking a break from charting and writing a poem. It means stealing a fruit cup from the cafeteria because you deserve one. Yes. Self-love isn't actually hard for you anymore because you are very easy to love. Being a good nurse means knowing you're still growing and honoring that path. Being a good nurse is like writing a poem. It's beautiful, important, a labor of love, and the only life I've ever known.
My live show is high energy and a lot of fun. I talk about serious topics, but I try to make sure to do it in a way that doesn't overwhelm people. For me, creativity, art, expression, poetry, these are all ways to have fun and to overcome life's struggles.
So being gender fluid confuses me more than it confuses you. It confuses me when I pick up a pair of pink glasses I like and the red-faced optometrist screams across the room at me, "That's the women's section!" To which I say, don't worry, nothing matters. Time is an illusion and someday we're all gonna die. There is no lens through which this man will ever be able to see me. I put down the glasses and buy contacts instead. I take a breath of blue air and I walk out the door. Being gender fluid confuses me because until a few years ago, I didn't even know I could be gender fluid. One day at work, I went to a training called Gender Affirming Care and I started to sob. Because for the first time in my life, I heard someone describe what I am. I always felt like a man, but I also felt like a woman. I thought maybe I was just gay, but had too much internalized homophobia to admit that I was. I wondered what was wrong with me, but nothing was wrong with me. The binary just doesn't make sense to me, and it's perfectly okay. I feel like a prism has opened up above me, and I can finally shine through it. I saw a woman in tie-dye leggings safely disconnect the electrical wiring off track lights and then rip those motherfuckers off the ceiling. She's going to paint clouds on that ceiling that let all the light of the universe shine through them. People say that you can't actually see God when you look up, but I have. She's at the top of a ladder and she's more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. She has a toolbox that her father gave her and a tape measure that's been in her family for generations. She says they don't make them like that anymore. We're changing the definition of Carhartt shit, and there is nothing you can do about it. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Samuel Crawford and I'm a current student at Washington State University, Vancouver. I've had the honor and fortune of meeting Greg a handful of times and it's been an overall amazing experience. He was able to come to our school and do a workshop centered around poem writing, sharing a few of his own poems and doing a workshop helping students create poems and be able to share their own poems. And overall, everyone had a great time.
You did the same thing you talked about, trying to accomplish of making us laugh, making us cry, and making us feel good. You did all three things. Thank you for your vulnerability. You know, when you talk about eating that bug, I mean, I'm sure every single one of us remembers something from their childhood, like that. It's a very relatable thing, but it's also like so specific and so yours.
The common theme that runs throughout all my work is love. Whether I'm talking about mental health and addiction or social justice issues, I really believe that when we come together and connect with one another, we find our meaning and purpose in life. And that's when we're able to overcome our struggles. And that's why I do what I do.